friends, G Krishnan from Melbourne. Today is Friday, the 4th of November, and we are just 2 days away from India's last Super 12 Group 2 league match against Zimbabwe. India are sitting pretty on top of the table with 6 points, whereas Zimbabwe are not in contention for the semi-final berth. What we saw in Adelaide 2 nights ago was an exciting win against Bangladesh for India. Virat Kohli was amongst the runs as he is usually in this tournament. But there was also this talking point during Bangladesh run chase in the 7th over just before the rain interruption when Virat Kohli apparently faked a throw of Akshar's bowling when the batsman Litton Das, who was going hammer and tongs against the Indian bowlers, and his opening partner were taking 2 runs. Kohli, fielding inside the circle, tried to fake a throw towards the bowler's end, while Arshdeep, who was actually the fielder in the deep, was fielding and throwing the ball back to the wicketkeeper. A lot is being spoken about it. Let's hear what G Viswanath and SS Ramaswamy have to say on that particular incident. Whether it was fair, whether it was unfair, let's hear from them. Hi GV, back to Melbourne again for your second leg of the World Cup. How does it feel?
Yeah, wonderful to be back in Melbourne.
So we saw the other day Bangladesh go down to India fighting, but there was the talking point about Virat Kohli and his fake throw. What do you have to say, your observations?
Well, earlier you made a point that we have to take on whether it was a fair or unfair thing. Well, once the two match umpires, Marais Erasmus of South Africa is a very experienced umpire, and also Chris Brown. So once they take a call, there is no way that anybody can differ with them. Actually, they are within the square on the field itself. They are closer to the action, and I expect them to have seen every action. With all whatever they have seen with their eyes. So I think the moment they did not think it was willful, there was no more, nothing else to be discussed on that. And the fact is that, they did not even speak to the umpire or the fielder concerned. Both are very senior cricketers in the world. No, they didn't even take it up, report it to the match referee. So there is no question of, whether we are adjudicating. Once the match umpires decide that it's a final thing, it goes into the records, the match is over, India has won 2 points. Again, there have been one more point I would like to add. Virat Kohli was trying to, maybe, play the prankster, just trying to do something toward the non-strikers, and whereas Arshdeep's throw was coming to the strikers' end. So there is no question of, he trying to distract anyone on the field. That's my opinion, and I think I will go with the umpires. They're both are senior umpires. One has to go by what the umpires saw and their response to it, which was there was no response at all.
Fair enough. Hi SSR, what did you make of the Virat Kohli fake throw, if at all there was one, against Bangladesh 2 nights ago in Adelaide?
You have to call it alleged fake throw. That is the word we use normally when we write our report. Like Mr. G Viswanath said, the umpires have not found anything untoward about the incident. So let us leave it at that. But I was probably surprised at the quick manner in which play was restarted. Maybe the umpires thought the ground conditions were good enough, but the outfield was wet, as indicated by Mohammad Shami during conversation with us in the mixed zone. He said the ball was wet. When the ball is wet, 50 thoughts swirl around in the bowler's mind. That's the exact word he used. So obviously the ball was wet, but the Indian bowlers bowled well even with that wet ball. They dug it short, and the Bangladeshi batsman kept on skying catches to the deep. It was poor batting by the Bangladesh batsman, including Shakib Al Hassan, the captain.
We heard G Viswanath talk about the umpires, not noticing it, or he didn't find anything wrong with that. But had the umpires noticed, it would have been 5 penalty runs awarded to Bangladesh, and that would have seen a different result.
The umpires are not found out anything untoward about the incident. So how do we talk about it in the first place? So far, the International Cricket Council has not come out with any statement on the incident. Even though a Bangladeshi team member, the wicketkeeper Nurul Hassan, has criticized the whole incident and said that 5 runs, penalty runs, should have been given to the Bangladesh team.
So, GV, overall, what were the conditions like when Bangladesh were chasing after the...
From that distance in the press box, it's difficult to make it, but one can always say that, after a rain spell, it is not the first time, it was not only during that time, during the match it rained. It had rained in the city also. The outfield would have already received some amount of rain. They have spent a lot of things, used the machinery to dry it off. So you're never going to get a perfect condition as it were when play was stopped after the 7th over. So you're never going to get. As I said before in the earlier things, the idea is always to get the game going. And the things would not have been that bad. The umpires again, they operate through a standard playing set condition. There are laws of the game, everything. They are also concerned with the injuries to the players and all. They know what they are doing. And absolutely, I think, even Shakib also. Shakib would have just, he had to do his job to resist, for the delay so that, he would have expected some more rain to come and stop play. That's what he would have expected, That's why, he would have spoken to the umpire, but some conditions and all those things. But I think, it's the umpires, they are in charge and they were very firm about it. They took a call. And the thing is that, everything went in India's favour after the second ball, the run out affected by KL Rahul from the deep. And one has to accept all these things. And cricketers, even Bangladesh, after 2 days of match, they will accept all these things. It's not the first time this has happened. Rain-affected matches, a lot of other things have happened. Again, going back to that fake throw by Virat Kohli, it just shows that, inadvertently you do a lot of things on the field. Probably you just would have thrown that ball if the fielder had thrown the ball to the non-strikers and not to the strikers. And it could have meant anything. But then finally, the umpires who go by the standard playing condition, laws of the game, there are not only one law, not only 41.5, there is unfair play. So many people have looked at the whole thing and they have not even spoken to the captain. Nobody saw him speaking to Rohit Sharma. The moment they would have taken that, then India was in trouble. Because there was something, they thought, wrong, which there's no way they would have taken the point of view of the fielder or the captain also. They are in charge, and that is one decision that is still with the umpire. It is not with the third umpire, which is what I liked about it. And they did not even feel that something untoward had happened. So I think one has to accept it. Yeah.
SSR, do you think a huge thing is made out of nothing from Virat Kohli's fake throw incident?
It depends on which point of view you are coming up with. If you are a Bangladeshi supporter, you will say that what Virat Kohli did should have been punished. From the Indian point of view, it will be the opposite. And ultimately, it's the umpire's call. The umpire's call, what is the umpire's call? So this was an umpire's call. They thought nothing was untoward and everything was hunky-dory. So they didn't even talk to anybody on the field of play. The captain, Rohit Sharma, was not called. So you have to leave it at that. Yes, it comes under fair and unfair play. The whole thing, that is a law under which this aspect comes under.
G Viswanath mentioned law 41.5, which says deliberate distraction, deception or obstruction of batter under unfair play. The law says, in addition to 41.4, it is unfair for any fielder willfully to attempt by word or action to distract, deceive or obstruct either batter after the striker has received the ball. It is for either one of the umpires to decide whether any distraction, deception or obstruction is willful or not. It further goes on to say, if either umpire considers that a fielder has caused or attempted to cause such a distraction, deception or obstruction, he or she shall immediately call and signal dead ball and inform the other umpire of the reason for the call. So what we found in Adelaide was that the umpires did not find anything to warrant such an action. So things went on as it happened. India get 2 points. They are on top with 6 and are all set to take on Zimbabwe on Sunday at the G. Until then, take care.